Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's press conference. The Bulldogs are coming off a 20-17 victory at home against number 8 ETSU. We'll now go on the road and face number 20 Mercer on Saturday at 6 o'clock. Here to talk about the Bulldogs, head coach Brent Thompson.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out. A couple of things I'll talk a little bit about Saturday night. A couple of things that I thought we still need to work on and be better at. Very fortunate to get the win. We still made some mistakes. I think we were fortunate enough that ETU had probably just as many mistakes, if not more. We still had 12 penalties for 71 yards. We still had too many on the special team side. But as I said in the after-game press conference, each side of the ball was able to contribute. We were able to overcome. But you don't go to that game and come out of there saying that we didn't play great defense, because I thought we played really, really great defense. We gave up a big play here and there, but for the most part, we played the way that we needed to play. We rebounded. We gave them the ball twice on the plus side of the 50, one on a punt return, and we held them to a fourth. We had a goal line stand on one of those drives, and then we also had an interception in the end zone. So defensively, proud of the way that those guys played. We had some really good individual efforts right there. Carson Hatchett was all over the field. He had 7 tackles from the defensive line spot, but he was probably more disruptive in the backfield and pushing the ball one way or the other. Hassan Black had 6 tackles, had a rush, and then had a quarterback sack that really forced an errant pass or a throw that was not on target, which was good. I thought defensively we needed to do those things. That's a good offensive team. That's a good football team. They're highly ranked for a reason. They're going to win a lot of games. They're picked top in the conference, so I thought that was a good quality win for us. Offensively, what we did well, we had no turnovers. We were 1 for 1 on 4th down. We were 3 for 3 in the red zone. And we actually had a game-winning drive. And we had a game-winning drive that spanned about 75 yards, 9 plays in 3 minutes and 5 seconds, which we didn't attempt one single pass in that, so it can be done, which is pretty impressive. Our guys fought the whole time. They played extremely well. And I still think we can play better. As I mentioned, the penalties, we had a couple of missed assignments here and there. We need to clean up special teams, but of course I was very proud of Colby for hitting a game winner. Once again, as John said, we've got a top 25 team in Mercer. They're a top 25 team for a reason. The number one reason is they do have good personnel, but they're well coached. And Coach does a good job both offensively and defensively up there, runs a really good program. They do have good personnel, and he's also a very systematic approach to offense, very similar to the way that we are. They're going to run the football. They're going to boot the ball. They're going to misdirection you quite a bit. We've got to be on our game. Defensively, last year we played them fairly well. Once again, I thought we had a couple special teams mistakes, and I thought they played us very well defensively. So we've got to do a better job offensively of moving the football, scoring more points, driving it. We had a couple big drives last year that we didn't convert, and we probably got to work and continue to work our passing game. Our passing game was a lot better this week, but it's something that we always talk about improving. So excited to get there, excited to get to the next game and see what we can do. Now, they're coming off a bye week, so they're going to have a couple weeks of preparation for us, so we've got our work cut out for us, and we've got to get going.
You went to the I formation on Saturday. Was that something that you're going to do more of, or was that just kind of that was what you had to do against that ETSU defense?
We've always had a small I-back formation package in our offense. We've expanded it more, and it's part of what we did this past summer when we knew the new blocking rules were coming down. We had to find different ways to be able to get things going on the perimeter. We do think it helps our passing game a lot. It also helps our run game and our option game because it holds people still without motioning too much. We still have our 3-back alignment. We just added a little bit more of the 2-back alignment. We put more of an emphasis on it. The other thing that we liked with the package was having a tight end. We used a lot more tight end this game than we've used in most games, so it all fit in nicely for this game. Moving forward, as you'll probably see a lot more of it within the offense, and as Peyton becomes more comfortable with the pass game and the throw game, you'll see probably a lot more of it as well.
Do you think that helps you? Is it going to help you move the ball better than what you were doing? Or
it helps your perimeter blocking more than anything else. It helps you get to the perimeter because you're not necessarily tipping off where you're going, and you're not having to counter all the time, which is what we always do with our three-back offense. And when you're having to block hard support safeties or hard support corners or hard support outside linebackers, it's tough when they get up the field. The rule doesn't allow you anymore to be able to cut block those guys, so you've got to find other ways to get them neutralized.
So the no more cut blocking, how is that? How have you made that transition?
It's been a challenge for us. Like I said, it's something that we knew was coming down in the spring, and it's we've made the transition. I don't know that it's been. It certainly hasn't been to our advantage, but we're still working within the rules to try to see if we can get it done. It's not to the advantage of most academies probably, or most undersized football teams. It's taken away our ability to neutralize a defense, and unfortunately, that's the way the rules are. I don't make those rules. Some other coaches do, and I don't do it. But whether I agree with it or not, I don't think anybody cares.
So it was a health concern? Is that what it was?
If it was a health concern, then we would be concerned about low tackling as well, which we're not.
With the start to the season, the drive, especially with schedule-wise, how important was Saturday's win to kind of make sure that 2 losses don't spiral into 3 and so on?
A lot of reasons. One is the home opener, as I talked about last week, is we had to get some momentum going. But just as I told the team going into Saturday's game, the previous Thursday night didn't make a difference whether we won or lost this week, and same thing's going to be true next week. It certainly helps for your Sunday, but we've got to put it away by Sunday night going into Monday and today, because this starts a new week, and if we want to go 1-0 this week, then we better focus on what we need to get done in order to go 1-0.
And then how important is it to get off to 1-0 in the SoCon?
That was big. That was big. That keeps you in the hunt. Once again, this is going to be one of those years. I don't think it's going to be an undefeated team in the Southern Conference that wins it, because there's a lot of teams that are really, really good in the conference. But we do want to stay in the hunt for as long as we possibly can, and give ourselves a chance to win it at the end.
And then how can y'all build off the momentum going into Mercer?
Yeah, I thought mostly defensively we got a lot of confidence there, and we had to play some guys that we didn't know a whole lot about. Trayvon Wallace played a really, really good game for us, and filling in for a really good player that we were missing in Wilson Hendricks. So we were excited that we were able to play those guys. We've also played a lot more guys. Rhett Russell played a lot for us. He was another fifth-year guy that was able to step in and take some pressure off of our guys. So we were excited to be able to get a lot of those guys in the game. Offensively, we threw the ball better. I know we didn't break the 100-yard mark, which is where we usually want to be, but Peyton hit some pretty good passes, and we actually showed that at the end of the first half that we could probably move the ball if we were given a little bit more time and some more timeouts. Give ourselves a chance to get into field goal range and maybe take a long shot at a field goal. So those are the positives. As I said, the biggest negatives were the penalties, special teams field position. We lost 10 yards in kickoff return to their kickoff return. Those hidden yards right there are starting to add up to us. And moving forward, we can't afford those at all. We were lucky. We were fortunate because that was a good team. But anything moving from here on out is we just got to be better. Well, we're starting to trust him a little bit more in the pocket. He did have a couple more open receivers out there that we can find and we can help him get to, but he stood in the pocket and threw the ball fairly well, and that helped us out. That's going to help us out moving forward. He's getting more and more comfortable. He still made some good checks, but yet there was maybe one or two that we would like to get out of, get a play out of. So if we can continue to get him to see what we're seeing, get on our page a little bit, I think that's going to help us further down the line.
Does his running, I know he's got to be a little bit of a threat here now and then, but does that take away something of the offense? Or you just want him to pick his spot?
I think he's an efficient runner.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a blazer in any regard. He doesn't take any. He can make you miss a little bit. He's not going to certainly beat you around the perimeter too often, but he gets the ball to where it has to go, and I think that's more of his upside.
Getting back to the cut blocking and taking that, how much does that change the philosophy of what you do offensively?
Well, we're still a triple option team. We still run inside veer, outside veer, midline triple. We still run all of our triple option plays. We have to do a lot of different formations. We've got to window dress them a little bit more, which is essentially what everybody does anymore. We've added one or two more other plays to help offset that. More inside run plays. We use more of the fullback a little bit. We've got 3, maybe 4 fullbacks that we think we can get the ball to, so that kind of helps relieve some pressure off the perimeter. And then the play action game's got to take the pressure off the perimeter because our guys, they weren't necessarily recruited to be able to stalk block all the time, which is what you're asking them to do.
What, the 2 big runs that Logan had, what was there? What was
So the one was an outside veer play, and he saw it, actually came to us earlier on in the game and said that he could slide behind the backside backer who was over pursuing over the top. So we were able to, coming off the goal line, we had a first down just to get ourselves off the goal line or off the 2 or 3 yard line there. Called the outside veer play, and certainly what we were thinking was it gives us a legitimate chance to get some yards on this because we have 3 options on it. We ended up getting the dive option off of it, and Logan hit it, and he broke a tackle. What I think helped us out with that was Logan was fresh. Logan didn't have to play the whole game because we had Orlando in the game, because we had Sammy Lou in the game. We had other guys to take the pressure off of him. So by the time the fourth quarter came around, Logan could actually have some fresh legs out there, which helped because I thought they were a little bit tired. And then the next 2 plays were actually very identical plays that we ended up getting big chunks on. They were just trap plays. They were trap plays that come off as misdirection, fullback trap. The linebackers just all day were all over us. They made a lot of plays, and they did a really good job. But they were just over pursuing to the play side. We were able to counter and trap it to the backside, and it was wide open there. And it was something that I came in and I said to Coach Conte at the on Sunday's film session, I wish we would have gotten to it earlier, but I'm glad we didn't because it was there late. Sammy Lou hits a big one to get us to right around the 20-yard line, and Logan hit one to get us all the way down to about the 30-yard line. So two very similar types of plays. One's more of a counter play, and the other one gives us a legitimate triple option play.
I don't know if this is a question, more so a comment, but you guys won't be home again for another month. I guess you'll have to embrace kind of the road lifestyle.
It will be, but when we look at that, there's a bye week in there, so that's good. So we're not actually traveling on the road that week. We are going to Macon this week. We'll have that bye week, and then we're going to App, which is kind of an exciting game for us. I think that'll be a little bit of a treat up there. It's going to be a great environment. App, certainly the schedule doesn't get any easier, and they go down and beat Texas A&M. But it'll be a great crowd. I think it's a sold-out crowd out there. So there's at least certain things to look forward to if you're not going to play at home. And then certainly at the end of the year, I'd much rather be at home when you are tired.
specifically Mercer, you talked about their personnel. What about their personnel?
Well, they're big, strong up front. Defensively, they're big, strong up front. They've got a free safety that's as good as anybody in the league, I think. Probably the best player in the league. He's all over the place, and they do a good job of freeing him up to play that way. He had a bunch of tackles on us last year. Offensively, the quarterback's a transfer from Coastal Carolina, so very efficient. They've got a wide receiver that I think they try to feature one guy every year, and he's usually that guy. And then, of course, their running game. Offensively, they're fundamental. They're very, very sound, and very similar to what we do. They're gap scheme oriented, and I think they do as good of a job with it as getting your eyes in a bad spot.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.